Hello fantasy managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're going to go over the players to buy for Matchday 2 of World Cup Fantasy. As always, drop a like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the World Cup related content, and click that notification bell to stay up to date with all of our recent uploads. Also, check out our second channel, FPLflare. We're going to be posting World Cup and football related content over there. So with that being said, let's jump into the video. So in today's video, we're going to go over 5 players that we think you guys should consider bringing into your World Cup squads for Matchday 2, whether you're just looking to use transfers or are activating that wildcard chip, as I can see a lot of managers using their wildcards in either Matchday 2 or 3. Having a look at the first player here, it's Denzel Dumfries, one of my favourite defensive assets in World Cup Fantasy, and he was able to produce 6 points in Matchday 1 as Netherlands got themselves a clean sheet. Denzel Dumfries didn't offer too much from an attacking standpoint in this one, not taking a shot or attempting an assist, but we have seen with him in the past he can get quite attacking for the Netherlands side, and he was able to provide a goal and an assist in their World Cup qualifiers. So if he can recapture some of this attacking form and bring that over to the World Cup, I'm sure he can accompany his attacking returns with a couple of clean sheets throughout the group stage, as after Netherlands have got rid of Senegal as one of their matches in the group stage, they probably have two easier fixtures now in Ecuador and Qatar as the last 2 matches throughout the group stage portion of the tournament. I would definitely be expecting Netherlands to get at least 1 clean sheet in the next 2 games. And if Denzel Dumfries can get forward and provide those goals and assists as well, I'm sure he will be one of the highest scoring defenders across the next 2 match days. And as far as £6 million defenders go, I do think Dumfries is one of my favourite picks along with Cancelo. Moving on to the second pick here, it is Bukayo Saka. This one does come as no surprise after he put up 15 points in Matchday 1 by picking up 2 goals and 1 assist in England's 6-2 win over Iran. Saka was absolutely superb in this game and did have a pretty high XG in total of 0.8, which actually ranks amongst the top players so far in World Cup Fantasy. I was a bit doubtful of him as to whether or not he should get starting minutes in that wing role for England, but it looks to be he's going to be nailed on for at least the rest of the group stage. After a very strong performance in Matchday 1, I would expect him to start at least the next 2 matches in that right wing spot, as Gareth Southgate should prefer him since he's been in good recent form. Also, of course, he's been in good touch for Arsenal as well, so it's good to see him carry that over to the World Cup, and with good underlying numbers as well as a good goals and assist output, I think Saka is one of the best £8 million midfielders in World Cup Fantasy this tournament. Moving on to Cody Gakpo, he's been absolutely superb for his side so far this season in the Eredivisie, and he's been absolutely excellent for Netherlands as well, winning the Dutch Player of the Year and being awarded the Player of the Month in the Eredivisie, and he's continued this very good form with a goal in the World Cup for Netherlands. He's produced 6 points in his first match day, and he's in a similar boat to Denzel Dumfries as well, as after ticking off Senegal as one of those group opponents, Netherlands do have a couple of easier fixtures in Ecuador and Qatar coming up, where I would expect Gakpo to continue his good goal scoring form. Not only did he produce a goal though, but he also has one of the highest expected goals and assist figures combined of 0.34. His expected assist stat actually of 0.2. It does rank towards the top amongst all players so far in World Cup Fantasy, so I really like him at £7 million as a potential differential to a couple of those other forwards in the game right now. I can see a lot of managers looking to go for the more premium options, but if you're looking to spend a little bit less on that third forward, I do think Gakpo at £7 million with a slightly less ownership could prove to be quite a nice pick for the Netherlands. And of course, since Memphis and Steven Bergwijn couldn't produce anything for their attack, who are 2 highly owned Netherlands forwards, Gakpo could be a nice alternative to those guys, as Gakpo obviously has been in superb form this season and has got that first goal of the World Cup under his belt. Moving on to the fourth player, another fairly unsurprising one, but a player that I definitely would be looking to target, especially if you're on a wildcard for Matchday 2. This one's Harry Kane. He's probably my top 2 or 3 favourite premium forward option in World Cup Fantasy right now. He did have more goal contributions than most other premium forwards throughout the World Cup qualifiers. and he's continued this good form over to the World Cup as well, as despite not getting himself a goal, did produce 2 assists for England in matchday 1, getting himself 7 points, and as a result becoming one of the highest scoring forwards so far in World Cup Fantasy. We all know the good form that he's been in for Tottenham in the Premier League so far this season. He was superb in the World Cup qualifiers for England, averaging over a score involvement per game, and he's got himself 2 score involvements in his first match for England as well, in the form of 2 assists, and he does have good fixtures coming up with USA and Wales as his matchday 2 and 3 opponents, where I would expect England to continue scoring goals after putting 6 past Iran. They look to be a very strong attacking output, and Kane looks to be that focal point of the attack, so I would expect more goals and assists from him in the next 2 match days with those fixtures of America and Wales. I would expect that England forward to do quite well, and definitely compared to some of the other premium options, very good fixtures and very good form, a player that I would definitely prefer over a couple of the other premium forwards in the game, especially if you're on a wild card and looking to target those next 2 match days before you do get unlimited transfers before the round of 16. Moving on to the 5th play here, it's Turemi. He's been absolutely superb for Porto so far this season, averaging nearly a score involvement a game for Porto in the Portuguese league, and he's backed this up with 5 goals in the Champions League group stage as well, averaging a goal per game as he has played 5 matches across that tournament. And then, of course, he's been able to continue this great form over to the World Cup as well, providing 2 goals and 11 World Cup fantasy points in his matchday 1 game against England. The fixtures do get a bit easier for Iran as well, obviously playing Wales and USA as their last 2 opponents in match days 2 and 3, and I really like Turemi for some more goals, as it's been an absolutely superb form as we've touched on so far this season, and after getting England out of the way, which is probably the best defence in their group, I do expect him to continue getting himself goals in the next 2 matches throughout Iran's group stage part of the tournament. Obviously, Turemi is going to be getting lots of service as well, and this was shown as he did have the second or highest, XG out of any player so far in World Cup Fantasy with 1. Obviously, did provide 2 goals as well. He's getting himself into some great positions for Iran, had a couple of big chances which he was quite clinical in taking. He also did have a couple of close misses as well. He's putting himself in the right positions, getting good shots off, and of course, forwards do get points for shots on target as well, so that's another alternative route of points for Turemi. So I really like him with USA and Wales as his next 2 opponents in the group stage. I would expect him to continue getting goals and assists, and with the amount of chances that he's been able to get for Iran and the amount of chances I expect him to get for a forward of £7 million, another great player to have in the squad. In a similar boat to Cody Gakpo as well, if you're looking for a third forward, whether you're on a wild card or just looking for transfers that's a bit cheaper compared to some of the other bigger, more expensive forwards in World Cup Fantasy, I do think Gakpo and Turemi at £7 million could be great differentials at a little bit of a cheaper price. It allows you to spend more money around the squad, have a stronger overall wildcard team in match days 2 and 3, and Turemi and Gakpo in their own right should be able to provide good World Cup fantasy points, as they've obviously been in great touch so far this season and should get plenty of chances for their respective sides. Thanks for watching today's players to buy for the World Cup Fantasy of Qatar 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the World Cup Fantasy related content, and also click that notification bell to stay up to date with all of our recent uploads. Also, let us know, are you looking to bring in any of the players that we've mentioned on this list, and are you activating your wildcard chip in matchday 2, or looking to just use transfers this week and then activate that wildcard in matchday 3? As always, check out our second channel in FPLflare. We're going to be posting more World Cup and football related content over on that channel, and also join our league code for World Cup Fantasy. We have set up a FPLflare league. You can click the auto join link in the description and we'll pop up the code on screen. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.